Hey there, angry faithful. I just wanted to drop in, bend your ear a little bit, get your attention. So if you're not listening, drop what you're doing and pay attention to me because I'm here to inform you that not only can you get your daily, maybe if you're binging it, I'm not sure, that's entirely up to you, but you can multiply your doses of angry me fuckery by paying attention to all of the platforms upon which you can find either the dulcet tones of my voice and David's voice or my pretty face and David's not so pretty face. Anyways, digressing, we not only we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Rumble, we're on Google, Apple Podcast. We have a TikTok page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and of course Facebook. So if you find yourself fuckery deprived, curl up with a nice hot mug of shut the fuck up and just listen. Open those ear holes and be prepared to be cream pied like it's the first time. Thanks for listening.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on Sociopath, we got a fairly new, this is like 4 to 3 days. Actually, 5 days. We got, what was his name? Wesley Brownlee.
That's almost like a traditional serial killer name where it's 3 names. His last name
It
is...
is kind of 3 names.
His last name is Brownlee, but if his name was Wesley Brownlee, that'd be more of a white serial killer name.
Exactly. You know, I had a talk with somebody because there's another episode. He's into serial killers and he listens to the show, and he goes up. He's like, "Hey, do you ever realize that most of the serial killers has like 3 names?" I was like, "Well,
most people have 3 names. It's
yeah.
just for whatever reason, when it's in the press, they like to put the middle name in there. Because you know why? This is why I think about it. What's the one embarrassing thing growing up? It's somebody
middle name
finding that out.
They do your whole name.
Yeah, and then
Someone
they start calling you by that. So they just feel like the worst punishment that they can give this person while the trial is going on is to let everybody know what that middle name is. Damn, hey, this person killed 15 people. His middle name's Wayne. What a loser.
Or what would be even worse middle name?
I was just going with John Wayne Gacy, but
how
about Lee Harvey Oswald? Oh, this guy killed the president. Harvey.
Yeah.
What a loser.
That makes sense. But anyways, going on, he was accused of serial killer on Tuesday. This happened on October 18th of this week. And you'll get this on Saturday. But and he was arraigned, and I follow it up. He did get they are doing all the charges they possibly can, and this the proceedings was overseen by San Joaquin County.
San Joaquin.
Joaquin.
This is in California.
Yeah. Why are all the big time serial killers in California?
Population is a numbers game.
It is a numbers game. Okay, yeah.
But
no, if you look at it, you got a couple in New York, and
there was one.
But most of them are in California. We have a couple.
Washington State, because it's dreary and depressing, and the only thing that could possibly bring you joy is to take the life of another person. Let me look. Where was the BTK killer?
BTK. He was kind of.
I feel like
Kansas.
that was like. Feel like that was middle of Kansas. Yeah, Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Yeah.
He's not even from the cool Pittsburgh.
No.
So I think they're spread out fairly well throughout the country, but you got more population. Also, serial killers love to target people that aren't going to be missed. So
yeah, you got the prostitutes.
Transients,
you got prostitutes, yeah.
Drug addicts, whatever. So you're more likely to find that in the big cities than you are in a rural town where someone's going to miss their cousin Deborah.
This is true.
You know, no one's going to
Actually, okay. Our first one we did was town of Nocona. You know Nocona Boots.
Okay.
It's a town here in Texas. It's probably about 45, maybe about 50 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
And that's where the Nocona Boot Factory originally was.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a chick there in early 1999 to 2000. It was December and January. She was finally caught by the FBI in about February. They figured out that she was still in the chemicals. And what she would do, she was in a hospice, and she would inject them with respiratory numbing agent.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it stops you from breathing.
Was she what they call like the angel of death kind of killer? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's one of. I mean, there's so many Angel of Death killers.
Dude, I was just watching one of like the Good Morning, CBS Good Morning or whatever, and who was it that's playing her? God, I don't remember, but they were interviewing the actress that's starring in the film and the woman that she was portraying, who there was a dude nurse that was killing all these people, and she woke up, but her like vitals had gone down really bad, and when she realized what was going on, she was like, "Get me out of the hospital." And then she was able to the dude was her friend, and she was able to get him turned in and get him charged with like he killed like 14 people or something. I think that's more.
Is it? There was just one recently that's in Dallas. That's what happened.
Man, it's just crazy.
It scares the holy hell out of me for me to go to like hospitals or anything like that.
I just think it's probably more likely, or I don't know. It seems like it's like a power thing to be able to just like, I'm going to take this person's life. I'm actually going to look it up.
Okay, let me while you look that
go
up.
ahead.
I'm going to. Prosecutors revealed in court that the cell phone data placed Brownlee at or near the scene of the last 3 of the 6 murders he is suspected of carrying out, and that Brownlee had a so-called ghost gun. Oh, God,
I mean, I own guns, but is that like you print it on a 3D printer or something? What's a ghost gun?
A ghost gun in the state of California is something that doesn't have a serial number. What it is someone just takes...
They ground it off.
Yeah.
They filed it off or whatever.
And before they actually named it that, it was a clean gun. Basically, because technically, I know somewhere very easily to get that technically it's a ghost gun, but it's grandfathered in.
Is it always illegal to have the serial numbers removed from a gun?
Any modification on a firearm is illegal. But remember, I forget who it was. It was some senator's husband or wife or something like that.
In Arizona?
I believe it was there. And what she ended up doing, she ended up chopping the gun. First off, she chopped the barrel off of his shotgun, which is illegal. Any modifications that you are like messing with the barrel, I mean, you can change out the barrel.
Sure.
But you can't make like a sawed-off shotgun. I mean, you can buy like forget the company's name.
There's a limit to what it can actually be, though. Same thing with there's certain kinds of rifles that they have like the butt can like fold in, but there's certain rules about how you have to hold it because then it's considered a pistol versus a shoulder fired rifle.
What you're talking about is AR or rifle style where the barrel is under 16 inches.
Yeah.
It's under 16 inches. And, I mean, Honey Badger, it's a style of gun that Special Forces use because of the urban environment in Afghanistan.
So you can clear rooms easier.
Yeah. You're not having this whole big barrel. And it has probably a 7-inch barrel on it. And along with the suppressor, it's still, I think, probably about 14 inches.
Yeah.
But what it's called, it's not called a stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a stabilizer.
Okay.
Pistols you're allowed to have a stabilizer on a pistol,
Yes.
but you can't have a full stock.
Yeah, like my cousin has one, and he was basically telling me, like, I think it was, if it is on your shoulder, it is now illegal. Which I think it's funny that the way that it's designed isn't illegal, but the way that you shoot it
Exactly.
would be considered illegal. But this guy just had a gun that was missing the serial numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
On him, when he was arrested, investigators first identified Brownlee as a suspect thanks to a tip from the public and set up surveillance to track him, according to Stockton Police Chief Stanley McFading. There are some people who are simply too dangerous to share the streets with.
That's
you
right.
And I.
So if you see me coming, turn around and walk the other way.
With that heavy breathing, I seriously doubt
I got that Rona, that COVID. You'll be fine.
I'm immune.
It's the Omega variant. It's not that bad.
Yeah. There are 2 more murder victims and an attempted murder, as additional charges are expected to be added. She said nothing that investigators are processing additional evidence that will let them move forward with the remaining case.
Let me ask this question: is he because okay, so there's this idea that serial killers are mostly white males between the age of, we'll say, just in their 30s for the most part. Scroll up a little bit. Let's take a look at this gentleman. This is a black man. One of the things that I've learned, or that I've read, or maybe I just created this in my mind, I don't know. Black serial killers may not get that designation, but you have a lot of younger black men in gangs that are the hitmen for those gangs, and they're killing a bunch of people. Now, they may not be out there eating the corpse and stuff. So is this guy killing random people, or is this more gang-related violence?
Faber Salazar declined to say if Brownlee knew any of the victims personally. News cameras were forbidden in the court. Report became so crowded that officials stopped letting people in. Brownlee, 43, was arrested, where he is suspected of fatally shooting 5 people.
All right, here we go. All of the victims were homeless at the time of their murder.
Okay,
so
yeah.
this is like a white dude serial killer.
Well, serial killers, in my opinion, serial killers, no matter what, because you got the GC killers, they killed for fun.
Were those the ones that were shooting from the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a couple episodes. We had to do like a 2-parter on that one because the information was so vast. And what set that off is he wanted to be more in his daughter's life, and the ex-wife didn't want that. Surprise, surprise.
She's like, I just get a bad feeling about this guy.
Yeah, and she ended up dying. So, but Brownlee was out hunting for his next victim when he was captured just a few weeks after the most recent shooting. The first victim was 39, Juan Miguel Vasquez Sorrento, who was shot dead April 2001. The next came more of a year later in July 8th, 2002, when Paul Yaw, 35, was killed in a public park. Salvador
DeBooty.
How do you...
DeBooty.
No. That's not what I'm messed up on. Salvador is more of a Mexican...
Salvadorian name?
Yeah. Well, Salvador is also Italian, Spanish, Portugal. You got that area right there.
Yeah.
And you got like almost an Irish last name.
This is
That's what's confusing me.
He was gunned down in a parking lot of a Popeyes restaurant. It's just, I don't know if you've ever been to a Popeyes in a
Urban
like
area?
in an inner city
Yeah.
kind of area. It's sketchy, and you would never look at someone getting shot there as being the victim. This is a good cover, is all I'm saying. Like I was driving cross country for some comedy work, and I was driving through Chicago, and I pulled into a KFC there, not realizing where I was at. And when I walked in, between me and the cashier was a 4-inch piece of bulletproof glass.
But that's probably the best chicken you've had in a long while, too.
Oh, I mean, it was delicious.
Yeah.
But so him killing that guy in a Popeyes parking lot, that just looks like a regular day at the Popeyes. They're not going to be like, this might be the work of a serial killer.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was good cover on it. He was thinking on
ahead.
that one. Yep.
Victims number 4, 21-year-old Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez was killed on August 30th. Juan Carlos.
This guy hates Latinos.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
The only one so far that is the Paul Yaw, who may have been of Asian descent.
Yeah.
Carlos. So you got Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez, Juan Carlos Carranza Cruz, Lawrence Lopez Sr. I mean, these are all. And then the only person that survived was Natasha Latour. Natasha is almost a black name, but Latour sounds French.
She was shot 10 times.
He tried, didn't he?
I know.
You can't say he did. Man, sometimes you got to bring a knife to the gunfight.
Yeah. just to make sure.
Anyway, congratulations, Natasha, on not getting killed.
Hope you make it through. Police have not yet determined the motive in the seemingly senseless killings, which cops initially said were linked to one another by ballistics evidence, but have described Brownlee as having been on a mission to kill. None of the victims apparently have been robbed, as their wallets and valuables were left. He was just whacking people.
But they were homeless, so what kind of valuables might they have had?
Okay, you got a good point there. It's basically he shot him. Could you imagine that? He's like, I'm going to start killing some homeless people. Start shooting them. It's like, I was expecting a little bit of money.
Maybe they
back.
were robberies gone wrong. Maybe he was like, hey, give me all your money. And they were like, we're homeless. And he was like, pow. You know, like he just never learned the right people to rob.
That would be hilarious if he was that dumb.
I mean, he's a serial killer. So.
Yeah. Well, most serial killers are actually pretty intelligent.
I think that is false. I bet that is a stereotype that is falsely believed.
Okay. The reason why I believe that you're right on this is because they get caught over stupid bullshit.
Yeah, the ones...
It's like a broken tail light. If I was going out to... murky people on a constant basis.
I'd be doing a pre-check.
Check on my vehicle.
Yeah, what do we call it in the military when you
pre-check?
Pre-check?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a quick once around, make sure all the fluids are at the right level, check the air in the tires, no busted blinkers or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You think he's dumb though? His cousin, Johnny Brownlee. He just goes, yeah, man. I just thought he was driving trucks, working like me. We're like, really? That's what you thought he was doing this whole time? Because you're not making any money killing people.
No.
He was like, yeah, he kept coming up short on rent, but I thought he was out there working, driving them trucks. Nah, he was killing people.
Brownlee grew up in Oakland for just a few blocks from where his first victim died, reached by phone. Brownlee's cousin, trucker Johnny Brownlee, told the Daily Beast that he was stunned to learn that the charges against him his
shocked.
relative.
I'm shocked.
Why are they always shocked?
I'm shocked.
I mean, I understand.
He was such
The
a
fact-
quiet. You know, I want my neighbors to make a lot of noise. I want them to make a lot. If my neighbors are quiet, I'm like, they're hiding something in the basement.
Exactly.
I want to hear a ruckus.
Yeah.
That way I know they ain't hiding shit.
Yeah.
If my neighbors are playing music late at night, they don't care if you call the cops.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they're gonna be like, who's the punk? They called the cops, but they ain't got nothing to hide other than the loud music.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing.
Or the stench of marijuana.
Yeah, whatever.
Or whatever drugs they do. Brownlee has criminal history dating back to May 1994 when he was arrested at the age of 14 on charges that he and 2 other boys sexually assaulted at 14. Oh, God. According to the court records obtained by Mercury News, 6 months later, Brownlee was charged with selling cocaine to an undercover cop and sentenced to house arrest.
Now, here's my question. You know, let's see if he's smart or not. When he was selling that cocaine to the undercover cop, did he ask him if he was a cop or not?
That's not what you do.
Because they have to tell you. I've seen it in all the TV shows.
Okay. From actual police officers.
Look, let's do a scenario. You be the undercover cop.
Okay.
Hey, David, you want to buy some cocaine?
No. Okay, yes, I
You
want to buy
supposed
some
Yeah.
cocaine.
Hey, David, you want to buy some cocaine?
Yeah, you got a couple of bricks?
Yeah, but before we do this deal, are you a cop?
No.
Are you sure? Because you have to tell me.
No, I don't.
Okay, let's make the deal.
Okay, you're arrested.
Oh, you can't do that. That's against the law.
You know how you do get it,
I
though?
saw it on Law and Order.
You know, okay, just for reference for everybody, the actual legal way to do it, what's your badge number?
Oh,
They have to tell you the badge number.
Even if they're undercover?
Even if they're undercover. By law.
I don't believe that. Cops can just lie. That's actually the law. Cops are allowed to lie. Because if a cop is in a situation where he's in danger, and
If you have a gun to your head and they keep on asking if you're a cop and your badge is yes, I'm gonna be fucking lying. I don't give a shit. I'm also gonna have the basic thought is like, am I gonna have to suck this dude's dick to get out of this situation?
why is that the first thing you go to?
Because that's where I'm gonna go to.
This is what it sounded like you just said. Am I gonna get to suck this guy's dick? Am I gonna get to suck this guy's dick so I can get away from this? I mean, am I gonna have to suck? That's what I meant to say. Am I gonna have to? Does a cop have to give you his badge number? Let's see what the Google says, because everyone knows this is legal precedence, what you find on Google. There you go.
Okay, usually there's no law requiring it, but almost all departments have policy that requires their officer to identify themselves when asked. Okay.
Well, I think you should
That's just policy.
Just don't sell drugs to people you don't know.
How are you gonna? Okay. How are you gonna make a profit? Because if you're not, how many times? Okay, it's like going up to Walmart. Okay, and imagine this: you're going up to Walmart, and you find like a brick of cocaine.
Oh,
you get
every time I go to Walmart.
It has a scan bar and everything. You go in, the cashier goes like, "Are you a cop?" No. Are you sure? I don't know you. I can't sell you this, and just puts the bag over there.
Well, I'm not buying cocaine at Walmart.
It would be like the great value of cocaine.
You got to build up a clientele of people that you know.
Yeah.
Here's the trick: you got to get all your friends addicted to cocaine. That's why you give them a little bit to taste on the playground.
That happened to a comic.
Like all those infomercials, or not, but the more you know commercials. No one ever came up to me on a playground and was like, "Hey, you want some of this cocaine?" That never happened.
That happened. No. Well, actually, it did happen to me when I was at a party.
Yeah, but a party? How old were you?
19.
I see you
But
were
yeah,
an
the
adult there.
whole playground thing.
But no one ever like
and you have to agree that you were in bumfuck Egypt.
I am now, yes.
No. I mean, when you're a kid.
Oh, I got you.
I mean, you were in.
No one's coming up and offering me free cocaine now either. No one's ever. Well, that's not true. I miss Los Angeles. Anyway, let's go back to this serial killer.
Okay. The following year, Brayley's older brother Dale was shot in the head in a drug-related murder, according to court filings reviewed by the outlet. Brownlee reportedly became very distressed over this and dropped out of high school in the 11th grade after being diagnosed with a learning disability.
I mean, how is this relevant?
They're building.
Does he have?
They're trying to be lawyers.
Does he have dyslexia? And are we connecting dyslexia to serial killing?
I'm fucked then. I got a severe case of dyslexia. In 1997, Brownlee was charged with possession of crack and received probation. It was revoked when he was arrested again on drug charges and sentenced 2 years in state prison. Brownlee next arrest came in 2014 when police in Alameda County, Alameda.
Yeah.
Thank you. Busted him for selling drugs after pleading no contest. Brownlee served a stint in jail and 3 years probation. Court record shows his record is otherwise peppered with low-level infractions such as speeding, failure to obey traffic signals.
I do want to give him credit though. So he went from 1997 to 2014 without another arrest for drugs. I mean, that's a pretty good. That's a 17-year.
12.
1997 to 2000.
You got to add in the 2 years.
He could have been selling drugs in prison. He could have got in trouble in prison. So whether he was doing it or not, that was 17 years of staying clean, and then damn, he started selling drugs again in Alameda County. That could be a country song.
Probably can.
Started selling drugs in Alameda County. That's all I got so far.
Okay. Finding a fair and impartial jury to decide Brownlee's fate will be a challenge, according to San Francisco criminal defense attorney Julio Janey. When a case has notoriety...
Julia Jane
is...
You got so stuck on all those Latino names up there, you're like, Julia Hanya.
I did.
That's Julia Jane.
That's how my brain works. That's what happens when you mix in dyslexia with hyperactivity. When a case has notoriety, it will be challenging to find jurors who aren't biased against the defendant before they have heard any evidence. Jane, who is not involved with Brownlee's case, told the Daily Beast it could trigger a change in venue. But even then, when a case gets national attention, that becomes continually
I mean, look, I get wanting to have an impartial jury, but maybe if you kill 14 people, you don't get that benefit anymore.
There's so many cases that, I mean, if you get a lot that, I mean, look at Janine Maxwell case. You couldn't try that in anywhere else. You just had to just find a spot and just go in it because everybody knew that.
Yeah.
But in cases like this, I guarantee you that it's national, but you can still find a jury.
They say that it's the insanity defense isn't a given, but then I guess a family friend, Greta Bogrow, Let's see.
Told the Daily Beast earlier this month. Nothing that.
Oh no,
her
that was
other.
that. She's the mother of Paul Yao.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want people to know that Paul was a good kid. Greta Boro told the Daily Beast earlier this month nothing that her other son died as a baby. He was a fun boy and he was always helping others. She said, he was a big kid. He was 6'3", and he was always taller than everyone else in class. And when he would see people getting picked on the other by the other kids, he would always stand up for the little guy.
You gotta wonder if maybe somebody else was getting messed with, and he stepped in, and then that's when Brownlee got him.
That actually could. Now that's the end of this case. But in situations like this, when it comes around with the beginning of the case, because we still haven't gone over. We need to go over the case that it was a tranny killer.
Mm-hmm. I believe the correct term is transgender.
Transgender.
Yes.
And it was funny because when we were reading it, he actually killed people in like 98. He got released, and then the cops found through CCTV that he had like a grocery cart and was just moving the next body.
And this is in New York?
Yeah, this is like...
That's how a lot of the homeless move their junk around, is with those, like a shopping cart or something.
Oh, and this person looked like they were homeless. It was a rough woman.
You always got to figure out how to do it so that you don't seem out of place.
Funny story. I had a job interview for Black Rifle Coffee for a producer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to the HR lady, and we got probably around about 10 minutes, and then she asked what kind of podcast I went on. I was like, well, I have a sports show, a serial killer. She was a woman. So is there any time frame you say serial killer to a woman?
They're interested.
Yeah, every time. And for the next 20 minutes, we talked about how to get rid of a body. Best way is chop it up into pieces and then get some like, you can get, I won't give you the full, basically napalm. You get napalm and burn the body. It'll take about 4 to 5 hours. But
Sugar
you have to
water.
I don't know about sugar water.
Well, not sugar water, but something with sugar in it, so that the if you want to like really mess somebody up, boil sugar water and throw it on them, and then the sugar like sticks and it makes the burns like that's like napalm. But maybe like if you had like a mixture with gasoline or kerosene, something with a lower burning point than gasoline, and he also had some sugar in it so that it spread over and like I don't know.
Well, making napalm's freaking easy.
I've never really been
really. They didn't
inclined
teach
to
you how
do
to
it.
do that.
I mean, no. If we were going to use napalm, I'm sure they would have just supplied it to us.
This is true.
But if I was going to be a serial killer, and I'm not one,
yeah, he has too big of a mouth.
but if I was going to be a serial killer, it wouldn't be about disposing the body. That's not how you get caught. Who cares if they find the bodies? It's about getting connected to the body.
Yeah.
So, it always has to be random. And you definitely can't have any survivors. And don't do it in your home. Like, that's Jeffrey Dahmer. He was bringing them back to his apartment. There was evidence all over the place. There's, like, heads and stuff in the refrigerator.
There was the one that we went over, I think, last week. And this is, like, the third, I think, because I know Time Suck did one that I think was similar, but luckily I reviewed his stuff. And it was a totally different person, but for some reason, having an apartment complex that I guess in England you can take the floorboards out
Yeah.
and you can put the bodies in there. And that's what they
God,
did.
That's just gonna smell.
Yeah, that's always the case. And I'm like, and you have
You're talking
maggots.
about West, Frank West. I can't remember.
No,
It was
there's a couple of them that
married.
did
It was
it.
a married couple, right?
No, this was a gay dude.
Oh, okay.
This is an English gay dude.
Aren't they all
I don't know.
the Brits? Hello, Governor. Would you like for me to suck your dick? I don't know. That's a terrible British accent.
But no, it's and it's the ones that are into necrophilia that keep the bodies, and most of them are into necrophilia.
Yeah, you gotta kill the body, keep it as far away from you as possible. Don't use a gun. Kill them with a knife or something so that it can't be easily traced back to you. Buy a different knife every time. Toss it in the river when you're done. That's it. Just don't have anything that traces back to you.
Well, my thinking is the people that you end up like using a rope to choke a person out with.
Sure.
You stash it with the body. Make sure you like wear gloves, heavy duty gloves, leather gloves.
Yeah.
So if you
Rope fibers.
yeah,
They're gonna find that in your car. They're gonna find the rope fibers in your car. That's gonna be a tough one. You know, you gotta. I'm telling you, a blade. And I get it. It's hard to stab somebody. You feel it go in, but if you're in the killing game, you gotta deal with a little squeamish stuff every now and then.
yeah.
I know this podcast isn't necessarily a how-to.
I've had a couple of people that were add on and that we ended up having the discussions. It was a short episode and we just had that discussion of how do we get rid of a body. I was trying to get somebody from Fieldcraft Survival, and I ended up calling on a couple of cops to tell me. I was like, how would you stop a serial killer, or stop if you're like the victim part?
Yeah, okay.
And they were like, that's kind of tough, only because you don't know if you're going to be the victim or not.
Here's one thing that I was looking at and reading recently, and that was the moment someone tries to restrain you, if they're gonna like tie you up, fight.
Yeah.
Fight. And they might stab you, they might kill you, but they may like get scared and run away at that point. But the moment you are restrained, the moment you're tied up, you're dead. You have no way to defend yourself at that point. So if someone is like, turn around, put your hands behind your back, charge them, fight them, do whatever you can, and die fighting, because either way you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So you might as well try to survive. Now I get it. If someone's just pointing a gun at you and telling you to give them your wallet or whatever, go ahead and comply with that. If they're just giving you instructions so that they can take something from you, let them have those things. But as soon as they start to act like they're going to restrain you, that's when you have to fight, because your life is going to end one way or the other unless you can somehow get out of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we're told in when I was working corrections, is that if at any point in time that they move forward towards you, that's when you fight back.
Yeah.
It's that forward motion. You just topple over and you go attack first.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't. It's like if you ever like got into a fight on the playground, you never wanted to get punched first because you're immediately stunned. I know, like, it sucks to be the one who gets in trouble for throwing the first punch, but if you're gonna win the fight, it's best to land the first punch so that they're stunned and you go ahead. Same thing, like if someone's coming after you, if you're running from them, I mean, here's the one thing that's a little bit different is if someone pulls a knife on you, you should absolutely run.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get cut and you're gonna bleed and you're gonna
that's what I've always taught in my training courses that I had to take,
Yeah.
especially for knife fighting. And they're like, if someone pulls a knife on you and you think you're the world's baddest motherfucker out there, run.
Run. Get away from the knife.
And
Also, I'd rather get shot than get stabbed. People survive gunshots all the time, but if someone stabs you the right place, like you're gonna bleed out. Like stabbings are so much worse than gunshots. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like
No.
a gunshot going through and through.
I've been stabbed before, and then it didn't hurt that bad.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
I've been shot before, and
How did you get shot?
Easy. I was in the wrong place at the wrong fucking time.
Oh man, was this after the military?
Yeah.
What were you shot with?
9mm.
Okay, so not a 22,
No.
but not a 45 either.
God.
You say the 9mm hurt worse than getting stabbed?
Yeah. And it was a serrated blade.
Oof. Oh man, that just
Yeah, it
I don't-
sucks.
I don't like it. Ugh.
I mean, you can look at my hands. You can look at my hands. I've been cut so many times on my hands because I haven't been taking care of my hands that much.
Right.
And every time that I've gotten cut,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of the tip of the blade like going in. Ah, God. Ugh. I was watching The Sinner, the first season of The Sinner on Netflix, and she stabbed this dude 7 times, and they show it. I mean, it's great visual effects because it looks so real. And every time she came down with the knife, I was like, yeah. I was just like,
well, if you're getting
nope.
stabbed like
Ugh.
several times, that would suck.
I'm not talking about just someone reaching over and swiping you. I mean, like the knife getting.
I got stabbed in my leg.
Man.
I wouldn't go out and personally
You
do
wouldn't.
it.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't recommend it again.
No, I would not recommend it again.
Well, look, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's. I told you this was going to be a short one. It's going to be a short
I
one.
appreciate you having me on. I'm glad we were able to educate everybody on how to get away with
And-
killing people.
After we get done with the show, me and you will talk about some other stuff I want to talk to you about. But other than that, thank you for calling on, Mitch Burrows. Check him out on, just type in Mitch Burrows and he'll show up.
Yeah, no S, but all social media account Mitch Burrow. Yeah, I got videos and stuff. Go watch them.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.